Hello, Grandmaster Herbert Ware with Mount Tabor Grand Lodge YouTube channel. Welcome once again. We are glad to be back. Had a little sabbatical, did a little traveling, had a little fun, but now it's time to get back to work. So, as normal, as always, Masonic Maturity Through Scripture is offered on the Amazon website. This book, of course, attacks the approaches and helps you to get your attitude, your heart, and your mind clear. Nowadays, more than ever, we have to stand on truth. This book will give you truth. It gives you principle on top of principle on top of principle to live your life according to. Now, for the Masons, we do have the Blue Lodge Holy Bible Reference Guide. Again, what you read and study in your ritual comes from the Bible. This book will lead you to the books, the chapters, and the verses in the Bible where your ritual is coming from. So, knowledge is power when used. And so these two books will help you get enough knowledge and confidence, I believe, to use the knowledge you get. So, with that in mind, let's go into what we're talking about this time. And it's 5 friends that you do need. This is part 1. In my view, there are 3 main things that have changed over the past couple of decades. Number 1, people are more comfortable talking about their struggles now. Although there's still a lot of hesitancy on the part of men to open up. But generally, people are quick and in a hurry to tell you about their problems, their trials, their tribulations, and they don't have a solution. They don't even begin to have a solution. They are just talking, which means they're just complaining. Now, in Masonry, it's a how-to situation. Masonry teaches you how to solve your problems. The Bible is a how-to book. So, but most people are just talking about their problems. The second thing that hinders us and that have reared its head is self-medication. Alcohol, food, and other substances to address the stress and pain and so forth that we endure on a daily basis. However, all of these are just a temporary relief from the problems. They don't solve them, and generally, when the effects wear off, the problem has multiplied or intensified. The third thing is an increase in technology and the development of all manners of creature comforts. That has caused us to lose the ability to tackle our problems because we hide in the shows and in the TikTok and the, even Facebook or whatever the case may be, looking for a laugh or something to distract us from what is at hand. And we need to develop strategies to address the situations at hand. So what these 3 main distractions have done is caused us to be soft and pampered. You know, if the website doesn't load in 5 seconds, we get impatient. If we can't find the remote to the TV, we get upset. Just as we can develop physical muscles through focus and tools and exercise and techniques, we can also do that with our mind. We can strengthen our mind by focusing, using the tools at hand, which would be the books, the videos. We can exercise our mind. We can develop different techniques to strengthen our mind so that we can address the situations at hand. And when we do that, that's when joy comes into your life. So the thing I like to say is you never pray for an easy life. As a friend of mine said years ago, they don't pay much for easy. You pray to be a stronger man or woman. You do not pray for the task to equal your powers. You pray for the powers to equal your task. That was given or stated by Reverend Philip Brooks. So we don't want everything to be given to us on a silver platter. We want to develop the muscles to handle whatever is given to us. So I keep 5 friends. They're very honest men that serve me at all times. They are oftentimes frustrating to those around me. They tend to keep me focused and away from misinformation and half truths. Their names are who, what, when, why, and how. And I send them over the land and sea before me to find out, to dissect what it is I'm going to be presented with. So this time, let's just look at the first one, which is who. Who is the first fact that you need to identify? Who will identify the leaders, the helpers, and those affected by a situation or an event. This information, by knowing who, it helps to establish the context and can provide or can point towards who is affected and who is accountable for the results, the end result. You know, oftentimes, there, as in Galatians 5:19-21, it points to a lot of ills that are prevalent in the world today. Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, a lack of harmony, rivalry, anger, strife, disrespecting authority, operating and living contrary to godly principles, envious, drunkenness, wild parties. So all these things are provided to us by the world so that we can ignore and run from the real situation. You know, these ills, as I call them, can latch onto you like a leech and just subdue you, your God-given spirit. It just sucks the life out of you, the creativity, and so forth. So you cannot allow your thinking to get distorted by perceptions and personal feelings and prejudices or interpretations. Perspective is your true ally. Perspective is the capacity to view things in their true future effect. In other words, perspective gives you the ability to identify how certain things, people, etc., are going to affect your future because you compare it, you put it in perspective. Perspective will provide the facts so that you do not get caught up in superficial feelings. Perspective leads to a sound mind, and a sound mind will always lead you forward and upward. In order to get and keep a sound mind, you must first determine who you were made to be. Who you were made to be, to do, and then stand steadfast on that knowledge. 2 Timothy 1:7 tells us that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. We need to recapture that mind. Remember, the ills of the world are there to subdue and suppress the power, the love, and the sound mind that God gave us. Now, why did he give that to us? Because we're a chosen race. We set aside to create and to do good. So that's our objective. That's why we're here, to create, to multiply, and to do good. We've talked before about the three evils we are forced to fight every day: the devil, the world, and our flesh. So look closely and identify who is talking to you. Who are they talking about? Who will be harmed? Who will be benefited by what the information they're giving to you? And this applies to people talking to you. It applies to music. It applies to the news media. It applies to everything that tries to enter your gate. You have to dissect it and put it in its proper place. You know, these could very well be close friends or even family. The identifying factor is, where are they leading you to? Where will this information take you? Does it serve the greater good? Those are the three key questions. Hearing a person speak a couple of times will generally tell you who they are, and that information has to be compared to who you are for harmonious purposes. The old folks used to say, birds of a feather flock together. So who are you flying with? Ask yourself that question. Look around and see who's flying with you. By being aware of who a person is, you will be told whether you should flee or stay in their company. 1 Corinthians 15:33 tells us, do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. The people in your life are to be good to you, good with you, and good for you. So don't get it confused. Yes men do not fit in these three categories. You want honest relationships. Relationships to navigate your future. Every relationship either takes from you or it adds to you. Everything you see, hear, and experience should be for your betterment. And you should be the betterment of those that you fly with. So you learn from everything and everyone as long as you keep the lessons in perspective. Oftentimes I tell people, you eat the meat and throw away the bone. Remember that one. You eat the meat and throw away the bone. You don't take it all in. So with this in mind, we can plant our feet on solid ground, we can stand steadfast, and we can get the things done in our life that we are after, that we want. And we can do our Creator's will for our life. So, again, we're going to come back and address the other four friends of mine. Right now, again, supportive information is located in our Mount Tabor Grand Lodge YouTube channel. There are a number of videos there on all types of subjects, and they're there for your edification. Remember, our objective is to elevate the intellectual and moral levels of all we come in contact with to godly levels of peace, power, and prosperity. I thank you for your time.